there, welcome to Jujubee DIY. I'm Sarah. Thanks so much for joining me today. Today, I'm here to tell you all about the X1 5-watt compact 3-in-1 laser engraver and die cutting machine. You're going to want one of these little guys in your craft room because you're going to be able to make so many awesome projects for yourself, for your friends and loved ones, as gifts, or to even start a small home business. So if you want to know what this machine can do and hear my honest opinion on how it runs and what I think of it, I will give you all the details coming up. So here's a quick look at the projects I made for this video. I had so much fun making these projects, and I will talk about them and show you more about them later on. But first, let's talk about the machine itself. This is the xTool M1 compact 3-in-1 laser engraver die cutting machine. It is the world's first desktop hybrid laser and blade cutting machine. It supports over 500 different materials, so you have a huge variety of materials that you can cut or engrave, making your creative possibilities endless. This machine has an efficient ventilation system, blue light filtering lid, and is quality made, and has a Class 1 safety rating. It also has a 16 megapixel high resolution camera inside, so you can visualize your whole workspace, making the most of your project and materials. It also comes pre-assembled, so all you have to do is add that ventilation hose and add your blade, and you're ready to start your first project. The xTool Creative Space software is super easy to use, and it includes 500 plus elements, 30 plus fonts, and a step-by-step project, so you can get started right away. The 5-watt M1 comes with some fun products that you can test out. It comes with a light grip mat, a fabric grip mat, sticker paper, engravable metal dog bone tag, 3mm basswood sheet, vinyl, and a faux leather sheet. So you've got lots of options to get started on a project. Let's take a quick look at the Creative Space software. You will upload your design into the project. Lift the lid to your machine and place the materials you want to cut or engrave. With the camera, you can easily line up your project. Then on the right-hand side, you select score, engrave, or cut, and then you just adjust your power and speed to where it needs to be. I went ahead and did the framing to make sure my project was lined up correctly and that the laser was going to go where it was supposed to go. Once that's completed, you just click the green start button on the software, and then it'll tell you to hit the machine on the button, and then you just sit back and let the machine do all the work. Definitely don't go off anywhere while this machine is cutting or engraving, especially if it's a flammable material. In case it catches fire, you want to be able to get that out quickly. But again, this is a great machine, and I think that if you are using it properly, you're probably not going to have any problems with it catching fire. So here's a look at the laser in action. This is MDF I am cutting. I made this 5-layer little bear project, which I will show you the completed project at the end. But I had done 2 cuts around this bear, and it worked perfectly. I really love that that blue light lid is there, and I can look at my project and make sure that it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. Now when it was done, I just lifted the lid up, and here you can see I'm just popping that out. Now MDF is a little bit more difficult to cut than basswood, but it still did perfect, and you can see those cuts are really nice. So here I am showing you how I'm just adding in another layer to cut. Like I said, this was a 5-layer piece. I got this SVG off of Creative Fabrica. That is where I get all of my SVGs, PNGs, JPEGs, anything that I want to do with any kind of design. I go to Creative Fabrica. So if you are interested in Creative Fabrica, I will link that down below. But here I am adding the word Washington. I wanted to engrave this on the very front piece because I live in Washington, and I thought that this little bear and woodsy mountain kind of picture, whatever, the decor piece, I guess is what it is, more or less. I just wanted to add the word Washington, which again, this is the great thing about this program, is that it is customizable. So I just went in there, picked a font that I liked. I have a lot of fonts on my computer already from Creative Fabrica. So I have a nice variety of fonts to pick from, picked one I liked, and now I am putting it on to my bear, and I'm just playing with it to see where I want to add that. Now, once I get it lined up where I want it, I am going to go in and I'm going to make this its own layer. So by right clicking on the word, I can go in and pick a different color. And then once I do that, I can go on to that right hand side, hit engrave, and then select my power and speed settings there. And you can see that it lit up that kind of orange color. So it's really easy to add extra elements for personalization and whatever you want, really. I mean, like I've said before, the possibilities are endless here. So here is a look at that bear completed. Each one of these layers was painted a different color, and then I just glued them together with wood glue. So here's another quick project that I'm going to show you. I just have this basswood piece of wood that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I cut it into a tag shape. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to add some of the antique wax from Waverly. I'm going to do all of it, so both sides and the sides there. Now I'm going to go in with my T-square here, and I'm just going to make some areas that I want to tape off so that I can paint them a different color. So I think I went down, like, I think that bottom part is 2 inches from the bottom, and then whatever it is in the in-between, like 3 inches or something. So you'll see that I'll just tape that off, and then I will paint that very bottom part orange. Once the orange is dry, I will move that tape down, and then I will paint that other area white. Now I added some washi tape here at the top to make a couple of stripes that I'm going to paint in with the celery from Waverly. And I'm just using a makeup sponge to dab this in, since washi tape is not quite as sticky as painter's tape, and it just helps keep that paint from going up underneath the tape. Next, I'm going to use a stencil from the Dollar Tree. It says Hello Sunshine, but I'm just going to use the hello part. And I love these self-adhesive stencils from the Dollar Tree. They are great quality, and if they get a little dirty on the back, just wash them with a little warm soapy water and that stickiness comes right back. Now I cut the word pumpkin here using the font Magnolia Sky, I believe. And as you can see, when I was it came out of the wood fine, but it was just a little tiny bit thin there, as you can see. So I ended up putting this on in 2 parts. That's okay. I just added some wood glue, and now my little sign says Hello Pumpkin. Now I'm going to go in and distress this with my little sander here. I got this sander from Walmart in the hardware section, and if I had been thinking ahead of time, I would have distressed this before I added the pumpkin word. So hindsight is always 20/20, and that's why I'm here to make these mistakes so you don't have to. Once I've got it distressed how I want it, I'm just going to take a baby wipe and just wipe everything up. And if some parts are a little more grungy or whatever, that's perfect, because we do want this to look distressed. Now I'm going to use some of this burlap and lace ribbon that I got from Temu. This is such pretty ribbon, and I wanted to make a bow out of it. So I'm just going to do a loop that I hot glued together, and then make the tails with another little loop that I'm going to just tie those together with a bit of twine, and I'll dovetail those ends. make it pretty. And then I was going to add a piece of that burlap ribbon in the middle, but I decided that it was a little too bulky. So I had some of this lace ribbon that I got from Temu, which is very similar to the lace on the outside. And I just added a couple pieces with those kind of scalloped edges pointing outwards. And I love the way this little bow looks. It's so sweet. Next, I'm going to add some florals. Again, these came from Temu. I love this eucalyptus floral. It is wired all the way down, and so I can bend it and adjust it to whatever way I want it to. So I kind of wanted this to have a little bit of a bendy swag look, and so that's what you'll see me doing. I'm just going to bend it and place it where I want to, and then I'll just hot glue that down and then hot glue the bow right on top. Here is a look at our project, and look at how beautiful this turned out. You'd be paying top dollar for something like this at Michael's or Hobby Lobby. So let's take a look at some of the other things I made. I made this cheese board out of a slate. Basically, it's a slate cheese board. It says, "Sweet dreams are made of cheese. Who am I to disagree? I cheddar the world and the feta cheese. Everybody's looking for Stilton." I loved that. And then I had this spoon spatula that I got from Temu, and I engraved it. It says "Home Sweet Home" with Collins, established 2008. Here is the metal dog tag I did with my cute dog Rocky's name, and here he is. Isn't he handsome boy? And then here is a look at some earrings I made. I had these little cactus and then these beautiful little engraved wood ring ones. Now this one was a fun one. I had engraved part of it and then that wood home cut out, and I just painted the engraved flowers, and I just love how this turned out. So what are my thoughts on this machine? Well, I love that it has the camera in it. I can utilize all of my materials wisely. So I'm not wasting hardly anything with this machine. I can use every bit of the wood or vinyl or whatever else material I'm using in this machine. And I love that. I love that there's a grid at the bottom so I can line up things evenly, and I can make sure that things are in there perfectly. I love the software. I think it is super user friendly. I wish that there was a few more elements in the software that would make it a little more user friendly, but I haven't really delved into that software too much, so maybe I'm just missing that right now. And I'll let you guys know in the future if I come across some of the design features that I would like to see in this software. If you've used the Cricut before, you're not going to have a problem with this design software. It's really easy, and I love that there are projects available for you to use. I love that I can import my own images and pictures and SVGs into the software, and I can cut those things or engrave those things at my leisure. So I don't have to use their design elements in order to use this machine. I also love that the software doesn't require internet in order to work. I don't have internet in my house right now. We live rurally. That's a hard word to say. We live rurally, and we are working on getting internet here, actual internet. So right now I use my phone and my data to do all of my recording and uploading. And when I have software that requires me to be on the internet, it's really hard for me to get a good hotspot and be able to use that. So I really like that as well. Now I love that it has the exhaust system on it. However, I am super sensitive to smoke. My family is very sensitive to smoke, and it didn't do as good of a job as I would have hoped. So I will definitely have to use this machine outside if I am going to be cutting. The engraving isn't as bad, and then of course any of the blade cutting or metal work isn't bad either. So it's mostly just if I am using the machine to cut wood that I will have to take this outside in order to use it. And I had tried to block out as much of my window as possible, and it still left my house smelling very smoky. So that was kind of a disappointment, because I was hoping that I would just be able to put this in my craft room and be able to use it. And unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. But maybe you're not as sensitive to smoke as I am and my family. I'm allergic to wood smoke, so I'm very, very sensitive to it, and I can smell it very easily. Honestly, other than that, I don't think that there's really too many cons to this machine. It comes pre-assembled, so you don't even have to worry about that. It's easy to use. I love that it has the blue light top to it, so you don't have to wear glasses when you're using this. You can still check on your project and make sure that everything's running smoothly without having to put on sunglasses. And yeah, it's super user-friendly. I'm very happy with this machine. I want to thank xTools so very much for sending me this machine to try out and review for them and to share with you guys. I honestly think that if you are in the market for a laser, that this might be a good option for you, especially if you don't have a die cutting machine like a Cricut. So if you're looking to get that dual engraver, laser, and vinyl cutter, this would be a great option for you. If you enjoyed today's video, that is all I have for you. Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think of this machine, or what you would make with it, or which project was your favorite that I made today. As always, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you have a happy, healthy, and blessed day. Till next time, bye.